So on the 2nd of July, I went on a flight with my wife on an Iberia to Madrid in Spain. Now, unfortunately, I do rate Iberia as the worst airline ever. I went, got the flight, everything was perfect going. Coming back, I had pre-booked all the seats, paid all the fees, and on the way back, even before we got there, I checked me and my wife in, and in doing so, I thought it would be fine. So I got to the airport, and therefore then got told that, oh, they've changed your seats. And it wasn't until I got an hour later, after that, before we'd boarded the flight, got an email saying they'd changed our seats again. But by this time, the woman at the airport had already screwed us over, and they'd put us at the arse end of a plane. Now, to put this in context, I'm disabled. I can't walk massive distances, and I need enough space just to be able to sort of move. This plane, they changed the plane, fine, but then when I complained to the woman at the counter about the change of flights and the seats, she said, okay, go to customer service. Well, customer service were as much use as pissing on a spark plug, because the customer service test said, oh, well, you have to email, we can't do anything. And, well, that was about as much use as literally pissing on a spark plug. We got home, worst flight I've ever taken. I emailed British Airways. I then put all the details of what had happened, and I'd spoken to people on the plane at the end, got off that plane, and unfortunately I'm fuming. Yes, directly not their fault, but no one even bothered to pay attention to the fact that they stuck a disabled person all the way to the back of the plane. And there's only one entrance off that plane that they were using, the front. And he said he'd mention it. So when I emailed British Airways, they said no, because it was a third-party carrier, I have to email them. Well, British Airways haven't heard the last of me on this one, because I think it's disgusting, the service level. And Iberia, I've emailed them, and all I got back was silence and my money back for the seat reservations. My suggestion to anyone using Iberia, don't pay for seat reservations, and if you can use another service to Spain, use them, because Iberia are, I'm sorry to say, the worst of the airlines there are. I'm uploading this because they seem to have ignored my complaint, and this was on the 7th of July. I got on this flight and got back here and emailed them within a day, and we're now getting on into August. It's disgusting customer service. British Airways, I hope you guys really do watch this, because I'm going to name and shame you guys as well as Iberia, and I'm also going to name and shame certain other parties at some point. They cannot treat people in this level of crapness, because as far as they were concerned, I was just a no one. They didn't worry, and I'm now going to be taking this matter further. Luckily, I did have some advice from a friend who knows a little more about travel stuff and solicitor-wise, and he's recommended I take it further. But this, as I say, is a name and shame of Iberia and British Airways. I've got another flight coming up. Yes, it's with British Airways, but it's going to somewhere else. And the mood my wife got off this plane on the 7th of July was horrendous. Now, it basically destroyed the holiday. It wasn't a great, the heat was astronomical, but to have a ruined flight and then get ignored by Iberia, and then British Airways tell me it's not their responsibility. They're the ones we booked it through. They're the ones we spoke to directly when making all the bookings. And I'm now naming shaming both Iberia and British Airways. I hope you listen up. I'm going to be tagging both airlines. And Iberia, get your ground crew sorted. Your customer service is abysmal, and I'd rather have took a ferry. And next time I've got Spain, I'll take extra time and we will do a ferry, okay? Because we'll never get on your planes ever again. And British Airways, you haven't heard the last of me. So this is for the wandering Aldertons, because we travel a lot. And I just think it's a disgusting level of service. And as I say, my advice is just don't use Iberia, because they are a very, very nasty airline. And I'm sorry to say, we were treated abysmal by the Spanish customer services there. That is not acceptable. And I hope any Spanish people watching this understand it's not against all, but it seems to be a majority of the problems we had were with customer service linked to Iberia for Spanish people who worked for them. Now, if you work for Iberia and you are Spanish and you are nicer than those, fine, great. But I don't ever going to rate it, and it's a likelihood I'll never go back to Spain, ever. I would rather go the Philippines. I would rather go anywhere else other than Spain. I will post further updates as and how I get them. I'm going to be ringing British Airways, and I'm actually going to be doing that in a minute, find out what the hell they're playing at. I'm going to chase up Iberia, and it's been a while, but because of work and major health concerns, it's taken me a while to get back to normality. So here's signing off for now. Updates will follow. Thanks.